AvaTrade. 7 regulators, 8 asset classes, real vanilla options. Worth your first deposit? Here's the honest answer.
Let's start with what AvaTrade actually is, because the headline numbers and the reality don't match up the way most people assume. 7 regulators, 5 continents, 8 asset classes from a single login. That's the pitch, and on paper, every word of it is accurate. But 2 of those headline claims work very differently in practice than the marketing suggests, and one of them quietly decides whether your money is actually protected. We'll get to that. Start with the product range. Most retail brokers say they offer multi-asset, and quietly means CFDs on everything. AvaTrade doesn't. The standout is AvaOptions, a genuine vanilla options platform on FX. Not a CFD with the word options stamped on it. A real options trading interface with real strikes, real expiries, real Greeks. That distinction matters. The risk profile of a vanilla option and a CFD on options are completely different animals. With a vanilla, you can build defined risk strategies, verticals, strangles, iron condors, that simply don't exist inside the CFD wrapper. For retail, this is rare. Most brokers don't ship it because the back office plumbing is harder. AvaTrade does. So if options are part of how you trade, that single feature can be the reason you pick this account. Even if options aren't on your radar today, having Forex, stocks, ETFs, bonds, commodities, and crypto under one login means you're not paying funding fees shuffling money between 3 brokers when your strategy rotates. Okay, that's the breadth side. The number that decides whether AvaTrade is cheap or expensive for you is the spread. The standard account quotes Euro-US at roughly 0.9 pips, no commission. That's middle of the pack. Pepperstone's Razor account does 0.1 pips plus commission. So does IC Markets Raw. eToro standard sits around 1.0. Here's the thing most traders get wrong about comparing those numbers. The 0.1 pip ECN spread isn't actually cheaper unless your trade size is large enough that the commission becomes a rounding error. On a small position, the 0.9 pip all-in spread can genuinely beat an ECN account once you add the round-trip commission back in. The math flips somewhere around the half-lot mark. So if you trade small and often, AvaTrade's standard pricing is competitive. If you trade big size on Euro-US dollar all day long, the ECN brokers edge it. The spread number alone doesn't decide that. Your size does. And there's a quieter cost most traders don't see until it's too late, the inactivity fee. AvaTrade charges $50 a quarter after 3 months without a trade, plus a $100 annual admin fee on top. That's the trap. If you trade seasonally, or you park money between strategies, or you go on a 6-month tear and then take a break, that account quietly bleeds up to $300 a year just for sitting there. The mechanism is simple. Brokers make money when you trade. When you don't, the books look bad, so they bake a holding cost in. It's not unique to AvaTrade. But the $50 per quarter rate is on the higher side, and the 3-month dormancy timer is shorter than the industry standard of 6. Set a calendar reminder if you're going dormant, or move the money out and back in. That's a few $100s a year you'd otherwise donate to admin. Platforms next, and this is where the broad everything strategy actually pays off. You get MT4, you get MT5, you get a browser-based web trader, you get AvaTrade Go, the in-house mobile app, you get AvaOptions for the options side, and on top, DupliTrade and ZuluTrade integrations for copy trading. Most brokers force a choice, MetaTrader or proprietary, not both. AvaTrade ships both. AvaSocial and AvaTrade Go are built in-house, not third-party bolt-ons, and you can feel that the moment you open them. In practice, I ran MT5 and AvaTrade Go side by side through a non-farm payrolls release, the kind of session where execution falls apart on weak brokers. No requotes, fills landed clean, and the mobile app is genuinely pleasant, not a stripped-down web view crammed into a phone shell. There's a real product team behind it. The point, you can scalp FX on MT5, trade vanilla options on AvaOptions, and copy a top trader on AvaSocial without 3 separate accounts and 3 separate funding flows. For traders who do more than one thing, that's hours of admin saved every month. Now, back to the 7 regulator claim from the top. Here's the part most reviews miss. 7 regulators across 5 continents. Central Bank of Ireland, ASIC, Japan's FSA, South Africa's FSCA, Abu Dhabi's ADGM, Israel's ISA, and BVI. Sounds bomb-proof, and on paper it is, but here's the mechanism that actually matters to your money. You don't get protection from all 7. You get protection from the one legal entity that holds your account, and the entity is determined by where you live when you sign up. Open with the Irish entity, you're under EU few rules: 30-to-1 leverage cap, segregated client funds, MiFID complaint procedures. Open with the BVI entity? You can stretch to 400-to-1 leverage, but the protection regime is much thinner. Same broker, same logo, completely different deals. The 7-regulator headline isn't a lie, but the protection isn't additive. It's a menu, and you only eat from one plate. The good news? AvaTrade is transparent about which entity you're signing under on the application flow. Many brokers aren't. The other piece worth noting? 20 years operating since 2006 with no material regulator action against them. That's rare in this industry. Most brokers haven't existed that long. The ones that have usually carry a scar. AvaTrade doesn't. So who is AvaTrade actually for? Pick it if you want one account that covers Forex, real vanilla options, stocks, ETFs, and crypto without juggling 3 logins. Pick it if you want MT4, MT5, and a proprietary mobile app that's actually good. Pick it if you live somewhere the EU or ASIC entities cover you. Those are the strong protection regulators, and the 30-to-1 leverage cap is the price you pay for that. Pick it if 20 years of clean regulatory history matters more to you than squeezing the absolute tightest spread. Walk away if you trade Euro-US dollar only and you want the cheapest possible pricing. Pepperstone or IC Markets beats it on big size. Walk away if you trade seasonally and you know you'll forget about that $50 per quarter timer. Walk away if you're a US retail trader. AvaTrade doesn't accept US clients. Full stop. And remember the 7-regulator point from the top. It's a real strength, not just a marketing line, but only if you open with one of the strong jurisdiction entities. That's the one piece of due diligence most reviews skip. Final verdict, 8.8 out of 10. Versatile, well-regulated, fair on price, and one of the very few retail brokers that ships genuine vanilla options. Not the cheapest, not for everyone. But for a multi-asset trader who wants the whole stack under one roof, there isn't a better built account on the market.
AvaTrade scores 8.8, a genuine multi-asset all-rounder under the right regulator. Full review in the description.